Drag Queen of the Week. And I am here with Misty Chance, the one of the most famous drag queens from the village. How are you today?
I'm well, thank you. Famous.
Well, I see you all over Facebook, all over Twitter.
Infamous.
Well, infamous, possibly, yes, is more appropriate. So for those at home who don't know much about who you are, give them a little taste of what you get up to.
A little bit of everything. There's some really strange stuff in there, especially lately. I've just come from creating some Star Trek alien appliances, but on a regular basis, more mundane sort of drag stuff.
Everyday drag.
Everyday drag, DJing, karaoke, cabaret, and that sort of thing.
All the fun stuff.
Well, yeah, I suppose if you're doing it for a few years, it can become a little...
Oh, not tedious or mundane, surely.
Not tedious, but... I think the longer you've been doing it, the more you tend to drink.
I can believe that.
True stuff.
Where can our listeners find you around Canal Street? Where are your regular haunts?
My regular ones at the moment on Canal Street are Churchill's and Tribeca.
Okie dokie. And what do you get up to in those two?
I do karaoke on Thursdays down at Churchill's, and sometimes you can find me on Saturday afternoon if I'm out of bed on time. And I do the quiz. I'm hosting the quiz over at Tribeca on Monday evenings.
How did you first sort of become aware of drag and drag queens?
Actually, I've just written an article for one of the gay magazines, and I was looking back at that. They used to scare the hell out of me, actually.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
So if a younger you could look at you now, what would he think?
I'd probably be scared.
Like, what's happened?
I'm currently on the street scaring my own chickens now. I just think when you've got that sort of entertainment gene, you want to get into it no matter what it is you're doing. And I think originally I was aiming for dance.
Okay.
And Lord knows, my voice isn't strong enough to be a singer. Not that it stops some of them, to be honest. But,
yeah.
So I knew that wasn't going to be a possibility. And then I started dressing two drag queens. And, you just think, I think I could do that. And came back. I was away, I was abroad at the time. And then came back to the UK and decided to do it. And I've been doing it ever since. And that was the millennium.
Have you got any particular drag inspirations?
I did an interview for my local radio station for my hometown. It must have been like 8 years ago. And one of the drag queens I did used to come down here and watch without being terrified was Thunderpussy.
Oh yes.
Only because the professionalism she's got totally self-contained. She's got her act. And it hasn't changed in probably 15 years. But if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Well, yeah.
And I said back then that she was my favourite professional act, and I'll still say that today, actually. So I have a mentor, like a drag mother.
Oh yeah.
Who's been retired many years, and we write stuff together, sketches and things like that. So I've got a lot of his hand-me-down costumes and his sort of southern storytelling type sense of humour in my act. So I guess he's a big inspiration as well.
Did you find it took a while to find Misty, or was it very much an extension of yourself?
It didn't take a long time, actually. It was only a few experiments at the beginning with how old is she, and what does she look tarty or does she look glamorous? Yeah, because there's a fine line,
Yeah.
So I think I started off actually with red hair.
Okay.
Yeah. And I just think that was because someone gave me a wig. And when I decided it would start to look a bit like sort of roadkill, I popped on one of my cabaret wigs, which was a blonde bob at the time. And I've been in the damn thing for 10 years now. So,
is it the same wig?
No, of course it's not the same wig, and it's fluctuated in volume and shrank again and gone shorter at the back, and it's sort of moved with the times. But I've been platinum blonde for as long as I can remember now, and I can't get rid of that. I would never be able to get rid of that because people wonder who it was.
What do you think the state of drag is around the village at the moment, and generally? Do you think it's quite strong, or do you think it's sort of falling away?
We've been talking about that a lot recently as well, because we've spread quite thin at the moment, drag-wise, on Canal Street. I was always happy to stay in Burnley and my own little place and do my show there, because I've always sort of thought better to be sort of a big fish in a small pond.
Yeah.
And then when I first did break into Manchester about 6.5 years ago now, I was quite shocked at, how just sort of thin on the ground the drag scene was. Not how I remembered it from when I was coming down here at 17, 18.
Being terrified.
And when I was terrified, because there were, drag queens, the boobs were under the chin and the legs were up to the navel and the hair was up to the ceiling and there were feathers and sequins and everything like that. And now there's a lot more looking more transsexual-like and woman-like than, I've always said I prefer to be mistaken for a clown rather than a woman, So the entertainment sort of factor had sort of dwindled away. But recently, and I mean really recently, it's sort of come back with a vengeance. And now, especially on Sundays, I mean, you can see a drag show from 2 in the afternoon right through till 5 a.m. at various venues on Canal Street.
Why do you think this sort of surge of popularity has happened? Is it anything to do with shows like RuPaul's Drag Race or anything like that, do you reckon?
I suppose that's helped a little bit, and I think that some of the girls from RuPaul's have been in the UK touring as well recently. But I think it's the village in general, because it's not the same anywhere in any other scene in the UK. And I think a lot of it is to do with a bit of a, shall we say, it's not uprising, but a concern about the village at the moment, and especially sort of Manchester prides, how straight the area's there's getting. It's getting straight because it's getting quiet and venues need to survive, and we need that money in over the bar, so we are allowing everybody in, which we should. In my opinion, the straight crowd is always a better crowd for a drag queen. But I think now they just want to compete with each other a little bit more, and to do that, they're fetching something in and giving the gay community a reason to actually go out now.
And you've been involved recently with a lot of Pride House Manchester stuff.
Yes.
With Billie Jean. And one thing I've found with a fair few drag queens been chatting to them, being quite obvious in the village, you almost accidentally find yourself as a pillar of the community and leading the charge with certain events.
Yeah.
How have you found that?
Infuriating. No, I mean, really, like I said, I prefer to be seen as more of a clown, and I'm not at present an ambassador or a gay crusader or anything like that. I'm not overly greedy, and I think like my December calendar, I had 600 quid's worth of free gigs on there that I did for certain charities and World AIDS Day, and I will always continue to do that. That's part and parcel of the community, LGBT community in Manchester. All the drag queens in town do that, and good on them. But first and foremost, I am a drag queen. And I can't pay my rent with a goodwill.
Well, yes.
We still need to work and earn X amount. So I'm a drag queen. So and then by default, when you start do things, for example, like Pride House Manchester and all these charity things, you do get sort of seen as a bit of a do-gooder, maybe if you want to call it that. It's always nice to do something good. You get that nice fuzzy feeling. I don't know if that's the gin, I'm not sure, but it's nice to do it, isn't it? Yeah, but with that you get dragged into the politics as well, which is sometimes it can go either way and sort of harm your career.
So do you keep yourself at a sort of happy distance from it to a degree then?
No, I don't.
Do you try?
I get dragged. No, well. There's like I said, the politics. I'm already involved now. I'm stuck around in the middle of the village, and you make the best of it as you can. If you turn a gig down that another drag queen's doing for nothing, and you say no, maybe because you've worked 5 nights this week, and you think I just don't want to shave. If you say no, stick your charity, I don't want to shave today, they think, well, you're miserable, and then they put you on Facebook. So I just go and do them. And sometimes it's bit me in the backside for actually doing something, because, oh, look at her now. She should go to the opening of an envelope, that one,
Oh, dear.
Best thing is just get on with it. Do what you can to pay your bills. Do what you can for the good causes and the worthy causes, and keep your head down and just try not to look at the nasty posts on Facebook. Try to stay positive all the time.
And you've recently been in a little film, haven't you?
Yes, yeah.
So tell us, how did you get involved in that then?
Again, that was from another Star Trek convention. There was the director was there as some sort of photographer in some sort of professional aspect, and I usually go to these things if I'm not working as Misty, as a female Star Trek characters. And he said, I've written a script, and it involves a sort of cross-dresser type drag superhero. and it's a cross between sort of Born Ultimatum and Murder, She Wrote.
Oh.
And I said, I'm in, yeah.
Yeah, that's I'm sold. Yeah.
Yeah. And a few weeks later, he sent me a bit of a draft from a script, and we got straight on it, and we filmed it last year, most of it. There's been a couple additional scenes put in, and it premiered in February in Taurus.
How did you find that as an experience, the premiere?
Well, it's one of my first... I do my own YouTube videos and things, but it's my first sort of foray into, like, serious acting, because, you know, it is a serious... It's quite deep and dark and gritty. It's not sort of all singing, all dancing, gay and drag. Yeah, I just sort of went in and just did it. And so I sort of crept into Taurus thinking, oh my God, there's going to be me and the director there, and that'll be it. And it was packed.
Fantastic.
And the comments were fantastic to my face. But no, I've had lots of feedback on Facebook, and Twitter's gone wild with it, and they've started to get funding in as well to make a feature film from it.
Very nice.
This was a pitch idea.
Okay, so if people want to get a hold of it and see it, what's the best thing for them to do? Get in touch with yourself, or will it be like on YouTube, a short release or something?
He's going to put it on YouTube, yeah. He hasn't as yet. He's just waiting for the sort of hype to die down a little bit. It's Drag the Movie, at Drag the Movie on Twitter, and that will go directly through to him, and you can hassle him for it, because people keep hassling me, can I see it? Well, of course, I was just in it, not directing, and he's got all the rights and the movie. So yeah, at Drag the Movie, and tweet James, the director, and demand to see it.
Fantastic. And to finish up with, if you were going to give a fledgling drag queen any sort of pearls of wisdom and advice at the beginning of their career, what would it be?
Don't do it. I do. I get these questions all the time. What makeup do you use? Where do you put them? You know, all those sorts of questions. I would say, not that I'm following my own advice at all at the moment, but my mum always gave me this advice, and I think that's how Misty got to where she is today. Just be nice.
Just be nice.
Even when you feel like not being, and even when it's not warranted, just be nice.
It gets you all sorts of places, I imagine.
It does, and because you do meet them on the way back down.
Very true.
as I've found out recently. Just be nice. I even be nice to them on the way back down. You know, just be nice. You know when you've been beat. But yeah, plod on, aim for wherever you're aiming for, up there somewhere. But be nice on the way up, be even nicer on the way down. Don't be turned into a bitter, nasty queen like the rest of us.
Fantastic. Thank you very much indeed, Misty.
You're welcome.
Drag Queen of the Week.